2008 edition of Hank. 270th consecutive sellout. They wait to see Aaron Rodgers debut as the starting quarterback for the Packers. They will not wait long as the Packers have won the toss and will receive. Showers around in the area. Could be dry throughout the game. It's in the 50s now. The upper 40s before we're done. Former Packer Ryan Longwell kicks. Jordy Nelson and Will Blackman await the 08 season underway at Lambeau. And here's the rookie Nelson from the 5. Brings it out to the 28-yard line, tackled by Antoine Winfield. And here comes Aaron Rodgers to begin the new era in Green Bay. The last time Brett Favre didn't start, more than a decade and a half ago.
I call this the great gamble of the 2008 season. It's like John McCain picking Sarah Palin, somebody you never heard of at all, and then she gets the national spotlight, and then you make a judgment. This is his acceptance speech as it begins tonight.
And I believe it'll start with a safe pass. How's that for a guess?
3 receivers in the pattern. The first throw is complete, and staying on his feet is the tight end Donald Lee, but his knee did touch down. Back at the 31. It'll be a pickup of 3 yards.
You cheated. Somebody told you it was going to be a pass.
No, they didn't. I anticipated.
Wow. You must have been a quarterback.
Well, what we've seen from Aaron Rodgers on the football field in the preseason is one thing. He's only thrown 59 passes his entire NFL career. He's exhibited great confidence away from the football field. The interviews, the microphones, the cameras in his face. He's handled a very tough spot very well, but none of that matters now. Now it's about what you do, wins and losses. Ryan Grant hasn't been tackled since the NFC Championship game. Hamstring injury, no preseason action, gain of 3, third down coming.
You bring up the confidence that Aaron Rodgers shows, and we were all taken by this. He seemed genuinely confident. It was not bravado. It was not something he studied. You know, he's not a 22-year-old wide-eyed kid. He hasn't started, but he's been around a while, and that confidence seemed real.
And Aaron Rodgers very comfortable in the shotgun formation.
4 receivers, half a dozen DBs for the Vikings. Flush, Rodgers has room. Will run. First down. He's at the 40. His receiver, Greg Jennings, introduces us to the Green Bay offense.
Starting with the O-line, we got at left tackle the big soft, Chad Clifton. Wisconsin finest at the right tackle, Mark Tauscher. In the backfield, we got steamrolling, hard running, get low, Brian Grant. At the helm, we got Aaron Rodgers. Don't need to say anything else. Outside perimeter, we got yours truly and 3-time Pro Bowl, Donald Driver. Let's go get him, baby.
Out of the gun, he will go to the tight end again. Short game for Donald Lee, a yard. Charles Gordon, the nickel corner man, comes up to make the tackle.
And I like the way Mike McCarthy is bringing Aaron Rodgers into this game. The empty formation there, 5 wide look, short, quick passing. The Vikings came with the blitz, but Aaron Rodgers read it, got the ball out of his hand. The best down to throw the football is first down. Base defense, base coverage. Mike McCarthy feeling it right now, getting the ball out quickly of Aaron Rodgers' hand.
Toss to Ryan Grant. Second year as a Packer. Out of bounds at the 44. Flag comes in at the end of the play as Grant was heading to the sidelines. Jeff Triplett is our referee tonight. And it'll be offensive holding.
Holding 76 to the offense. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Left tackle Chad Clifton, who has to block Jared Allen, and Allen introduces us to the Vikings defense.
All right, starting with the D-line, we got my fellow bookend, Ray. When I'm not playing football, I'm enjoying a bubble bath, Edwards. Moving on back to the linebacker corps. Chad, check out my veneers, Greenway. And on the back end, Cedric, yes, I am related to the Family Guy, Griffin.
This is not speak softly and carry a big stick, is it? As Teddy Roosevelt once said at the Minnesota State Fair. No, it's not. It's speak loudly and carry 2 or 3 big sticks.
man who led the league in sacks last year. Rodgers loses the ball. It's on the ground with Pat Williams reaching at it underneath. It's third down. There is a new center in the game, Jason Spitz. He starts tonight for Scott Wells. Wells has a back injury. Spitz has been there all preseason.
And you'll see Big Williams right on the nose there, and certainly that will have an effect on Jason Spitz. He knows he's got to get on Williams, that being Pat Williams there at about 320 pounds. He's got to get on him quick. Sometimes, Tony, you may not focus on getting that ball up, and you got that big fella in front of you.
Well, you got 5,000 pounds of Williams right across the way from you.
And they are good.
They're not related. They're both Pro Bowlers. They're both Vikings. They're both good, but they're not related. Packers need to get to midfield. The flag is down as Rodgers just gets rid of it. Never open on the screen was Brandon Jackson. Ray Edwards hit him hard toward the end of the play, but this is not a roughing the passer flag.
Illegal formation offense. Number 76 got up on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be judged almost on every play, certainly on every series. That started well. But the way he can win this crowd and the way ultimately he can win this city is to, as you know, to put points up and to win. But he gets judged. He's the most scrutinized guy in the league this year.
Derek Frost is a new punter. He was not in camp with Green Bay, with Washington, signed this week. His first kick as a Packer is a beauty. Charles Gordon says get away, and a nice job by the new punter who's added a 46-yard punt. Vikings take over at their own 21, and Adrian Peterson on the field when we come back.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming. This season, find everything you need to fall forward only at Sears. Toyota, moving forward. And NFL.com. NFL.com Fantasy is your source for fantasy stats, news, highlights, and more.
If you have a sports bucket list, this should be near the top. You have to come to a football game here. From Curly Lambeau's statue, Lambeau Field, the houses right across the street. It's one of a kind, and it's great.
But you don't have to wear a Favre jersey. Everybody in these montages appear to be wearing a Favre jersey.
A few are in the house. Tavares Jackson, third year in the league, second year as the starter, to Adrian Peterson out of the gate. Gain of 3, Aaron Kampman, Pro Bowl defensive end, makes the tackle. All the talk about Aaron Rodgers, how far the Vikings go, could be determined by this 25-year-old out of Alabama State, Tavares Jackson.
Yeah, I love the number you look at right there, 8-4 as a starter. The guy knows how to win football games. Ray is not going to, Brad Childress is not going to ask him to throw the ball 40 times to win the football game. Don't make mistakes. Keep the Vikings in the game, and that's exactly what Tavares does.
Play action. Kampman chasing him. And Jackson gets out of bounds. And there's a story in that. In the preseason against Baltimore, he sprained his right medial collateral ligament. Didn't play the last 2 games of the preseason. Is wearing a brace here tonight. It was a big source of concern for the Vikings. It happened as they played Baltimore at home in week 2. Eventually chased and brought down by Ray Lewis. He stayed in for a couple of plays, but there's a little question of how good is he going to be. He hasn't played in essentially 3.5 weeks.
And what's interesting about Jackson as well, he does not perform well outside the pocket. Normally athletic, mobile guys do well. His quarterback rating outside the pocket is 24.2. Not very good.
4 receivers. None of them are open. Jackson keeps the play alive. Runs for it and gets the first down before Kampman and Woodson, Charles Woodson, bring him down.
And I love Tavares in the pocket. As you look at him, he was moving because there was pressure. There's the pressure he moves away from. But the head is downfield. The run was the last option when everyone was covered. I like to see quarterback only take the run option when that's the only one available.
That's because you couldn't run.
I could when I was young. Very young.
Adrian Peterson. He just goes through the hole different than some of the other running backs. Gain of almost 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. We talk about Peterson's value, and we'll see it all night. But back to Jackson for a second, guys. Tony, he is so important to the Vikings because that's the question mark spot on this team.
This is a very similar circumstance. We're going to focus on Rodgers because Favre is such a big star, and he's in his shadow. The Vikings think they could be a Super Bowl team. They went out and bought $80 million worth of talent and handing the keys over to an unproven quarterback. He's the second most scrutinized guy in the league.
Peterson, look at that vision Jaws showed you earlier. He dances laterally to get the first down, but a marker's down in the backfield.
Holding. Number 79 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Artis Hicks, his story in a second. First, Jackson to tell you about the rest of the Vikings on offense.
Stuck front with the offensive linemen, anchored by 2 Pro Bowlers, Matt Burke and Steve Hutchinson. Our playmakers outside, we have Bernard, Trayshawn Berry, and Sidney Rice. The best 1-2 punch in the league, we have all day and all night, Adrian Peterson and Chester Taylor.
Taylor backs him up, ran for 844 yards last year. Bernard Berry and former Bear, some of the money spent by the Vikings.
$16 million guaranteed to Berry. It's a lot of millions.
This is 2nd and 11. Jackson's throw is held on to by Garrett Mills. He's the backup pass-catching tight end out of Tulsa. Here's Nick Barnett, the Packer linebacker, introduces us to the Green Bay D.
Thanks, Mike. I'll take it from here. I'll start up front with Aaron. I won't stop till I get another sack coming. And in the middle is Ryan, the big picket fence. At the linebacking core, we got AJ. Thank God the Hawk is back. And Brady, snap crackle, Papinga, and myself. Now in the secondary, we got Aldo, make you shake my dreads in your face hair. And Charles, the blanket man Woodson. Backing up your corners is safety Nick Collins, and we ain't playing no video games with Tari Jiggy.
A.J. Hawk is back in the lineup after a chest injury, missed the last few games of preseason. Couldn't get there in time to stop Chester Taylor, who came in for Adrian Peterson, and Taylor picks up the first down at the 42.
Real nice combination they have in the backfield, Mike, when they have a Chester Taylor and Adrian Peterson. Chester Taylor, kind of the wily old veteran, he's kind of their screen back, and he comes in the game almost about a 60% screen possibility.
Trying to set up the screen for Peterson that time. It's incomplete as he was surrounded by Ryan Pickett and Mike Montgomery off the Green Bay defensive front. It's a Viking team that was 8-8. Remember, guys, they came in here last year and got cleaned out 34-0. And in that game, Adrian Peterson was hurt. And they did win 5 in a row after that, but it shook up the system a little bit.
And Brooks Bollinger was the quarterback back then. Tavares did not play in that game. They feel they come here with all their bullets in the chamber right now.
That's right. Jackson didn't start either game against the Packers last year. Spin move by Peterson, met by Hawk. Number 5 overall pick in the 06 draft. 3rd down coming up.
Here's the scary thing about Adrian Peterson and what he told us yesterday. I mean, and last year he was the Rookie of the Year, and he went over like 1 million yards 9 different times. And he said, and I'm quoting, "I didn't know what I was doing last year. This year I actually think I know what I'm doing." How frightening do you think that is for other teams in the league?
Yeah, that is scary. But boy, it's a quantum leap from that rookie season to year 2, and I think he understands that now.
Chester Taylor in. 3rd and a half goes in. Jackson sacked by Kentman. Looping in the man who had a dozen sacks last year.
Well, it's all about pressure, and you're going to get pressure. There's no question that the Packers have picked up their blitz scheme. You see the stunt inside. Campbell comes around on the loop and gets sacked.
Both defenses do a good job. Kind of banking on a low-scoring game here tonight. Chris Kluwe is the punter. 47 yards. He'll be down to the 16. Chooses not to field it. And drive 2 for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers when we come back. That gives you a great sense, especially in the daylight, of the neighborhoods that surround Lambeau Field and the beautiful Packer Hall of Fame that was built on as that top crown was put on here some 5 years ago.
I put a deposit on a house
Did
across
you?
the street just this afternoon.
You're going to love it come November.
You know, Mike, you talked earlier about the rich history and tradition. You know, fans coming. Here's a player. It's a great place to come to. I remember coming here. You got excited about coming to Lambeau Field and Titletown.
Drive 2 for Aaron Rodgers. Packers take over at their own 16. And a false start on Darren College, the left guard.
False start. Number 73 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Where'd Aaron Rodgers come from? Well, he was at Butte Community College. Really not recruited. No scholarship offers out of high school. And Jeff Tedford, the coach at Cal, was recruiting a tight end at Butte Community College. Got him to Cal, where he played very well. Then went into the NFL draft. Some thought he'd be the number 1 overall pick. He waited 4.5 hours. And Paul Tagliabue will remind him, good things come to those who wait after that draft wait. Well, he's waited behind Brett Favre. And now he hopes the good things are coming. Throwing from his own 11 and throwing deep for Donald Driver. Incomplete. Good quarter coverage by Antoine Winfield.
People may not know Aaron Rodgers' backstory, but they know his name. And they probably wonder, what's it like when everybody in America talks about you every single day for the last 2 months? Here's a quote. It seems my whole life has been played out in public by people who don't know me. I go home, I watch myself on TV. It's really weird. Everybody has an opinion about me and says it on TV, and I sit there watching it. He sits and watches people like me talk about him. It's bizarre.
Especially you talking about it.
It's all bizarre. I know nothing.
2nd and 15, Ryan Grant. Met by the waiting Kevin Williams for only a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and long here. Ryan Grant, he was a New York Giant 53 weeks ago. On September 1st of 2007, he was traded from the Giants to Green Bay. Ends up with the Packers, and in the second half of the season, he was the answer, Jaws, to the question, where's the running game?
Well, no question. As I watched him in the early season, they used a lot of empty formation. No running backs in the backfield. They were a throw ball team. Ryan Grant brought balance to their offense.
Brandon Jackson comes in this 3rd down situation. 2nd year out of Nebraska. Jackson runs. Right over the umpire, he lost the football. And Greg Jennings picks it up. It's a first down at the 32-yard line.
And a smile on Greg Jennings' face.
Lucky dog.
Whoa.
David Herron and Chad Greenway were there as Jackson lost the football.
You'll see the ball's coming right out there, and Chad Greenway has a chance. It whistles right by his head. Darren Sharper right there. Tyrell Johnson there. The umpire goes down. Ball's on the ground, and all of a sudden there's Greg Jennings. He's going to grab it. He's thinking he can score right now.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
As you were watching that play, the Packers had 12 men in the huddle and broke it with 12. So Green Bay with multiple flags here in this first quarter.
Yeah, you got a quarterback getting his first NFL start. You need to help him out a little bit. There's been 2 5-yard penalties and a 15-yard penalty. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, a hold, a false start, and 12 guys in the huddle.
No, not good.
4.5 left, first quarter. Vikings trying to get another illegal shift penalty on the Packers. Another flag does come in as Grant is met by Jared Allen. This is the toughest defense to run against last year in the NFL. And they're proving that they're ready to hold that title in 08. Pat Williams, Kevin Williams, Jared Allen.
Tripping. Number 75 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Tony Mall. Right guard. 4 penalties.
You're right, Jaws. They're making it pretty hard on the quarterback.
No kidding.
I mean, you got the whole world watching to see if he's worthy of this position with a 13-3 team, and his players are sabotaging the effort.
Not even sure Brett Favre would be happy with all these long yardage situations. In fact, I know he wouldn't be happy.
First and 25. Rodgers to Grant. To the 24-yard line, there is another penalty marker down. Mike McCarthy said, "You got to be kidding me." No, we're not.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
It's Chad Clifton who is trying to block Jared Allen, and that's the 4th penalty on this drive.
Yeah, and a year ago when Jared Allen was with the Kansas City Chiefs, Chad Clifton did a real nice job on him. Not right there. Kind of looped that arm around. You know, it's one of those sometimes you overlook, but he did hook him.
They go any further back, they'll be in Michigan.
Yeah, now it's we try to get a few yards, and punt.
Yeah, 1st and 33 always has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, play caller's dream here, John.
Mike McCarthy has nothing on his sheet for 1st and 33.
To the 15, Antoine Winfield came diving in to make the tackle. This Viking defense, their attitude so good and so apparent early on.
You know, when you talk about 1st and 33, and I know it's going to sound like I'm belaboring the point, but people who sit in the stands and people who watch the Packers for years and years, Jaws, think, oh, that's when the magic happens with Brett Favre. 1st and 33, he comes up with a 35-yard play.
No, this has nothing to do with Rodgers. Come on.
You don't think people in the stands and people watching are keeping mental score as to how well he's doing in a similar circumstance?
Well, they need to
How
get
many
a program.
1st and 33s do you convert?
Yeah. Look at these offensive linemen. Help them out, for goodness sake. Tough to catch, hauled in by Greg Jennings, eaten up by Cedric Griffin, and a loss of 1.5 yards. 3rd and 30.
Okay, we go for the quick trap inside and punt, and maybe get back to a normal, balanced 1st and 10 situation.
Come on, you think people sit here saying 1st and 33? Here's Favre would make it.
You're crazy.
You know what? I'll bet you 20% of the people in this stadium tonight are saying, let's see if he can do it because we think the other guy did it 30 million times.
Well, I really want that guy to be the voice of reason.
Huh? This is what happens when one guy is a legend. Everything gets outsized.
The man wears
Not that
styrofoam
guy.
cheese,
Not that.
Mexican hat, sombrero. 3rd and 28 officially. Look out, Aaron. Gets it away to Jackson. Brandon takes it to the 27. And at least they went 3 plays without a flag. So that's an encouraging sign.
They're going to put that forward fumble in. That's the only way they get a 1st down.
So that Vikings defense, which doesn't need much help, given plenty of assistance. Now Charles Gordon, who has not returned a punt in the NFL, but was very good at it at Kansas in college. Take Derek Frost's kick. 42-yarder and eaten up immediately by Tremont Williams, the corner. Nice tackle. Vikes take over the 30. 92 seconds left in the opening quarter. Sloppy start for the Packers. Double the house party for you tonight. Mike Ditka, Mike Greenberg, Mike Golick standing by in Oakland for the Raiders and Denver. Game 2 of our season opening Monday Night Football doubleheader.
Mike and Mike and Mike. I like that.
On the mic.
On the mic.
Peterson to the edge. Hello, Harris. Gain of 10 for the man who was second to LaDainian Tomlinson running the ball in the NFL last year. First down.
I mean, we can talk about the speed, the quickness, but this is brute power right here. He just runs over Al Harris. Wow.
Vasante Shenko liked it.
Yeah. Wow. I told her to be saying wow a lot when he's in the game.
There he goes again to the edge. Turns the corner. Adrian Peterson putting on the moves to the 25-yard line. 35 yards of wow.
Just a really nice job on the misdirection play. And, you know, the point of attack is to the left. It shows the incredible vision that Adrian Peterson has. He breaks it back to the right in the open field. I mean, he's just slippery as you can get. Here's what I like right here. He moves to his right away from the point of attack. Now the acceleration, just a thing of beauty.
He goes to the bench. Chester Taylor comes in and runs for 7 yards towards Charles Woodson.
Why would you let the quarterback pass at all if you could do that? Why?
Well, this will soften up the defense. They'll have to bring that 8th and maybe even a 9th defender down in the box if they can sustain this play. That's going to open up the 1-on-1 on the outside, and that's why you have Bernard Berrien.
Only 2 other games in the NFL on week 1, scoreless through 1 quarter. Now you can make that 3, but Minnesota is knocking on the door thanks to Adrian Peterson's big start.
Won't soften up the defense. It'll level the defense.
As advertised, a traditionally solid rivalry in the AFC West follows us, the Broncos, who played 4 overtime games last year, finishing at 7-9 against the Raiders. We'll see Jamarcus Russell and Darren McFadden for Oakland coming up right after we're done here at Lambeau.
You know, Mike, what I liked about this series of plays from the Vikings, they've gone to their 2 tight ends. Desante Shanko and Jim Kleinsasser, 2 outstanding blockers. Here you see the balanced formation. This formation with 2 tight ends has been good for them.
First red zone snap of the night comes from the 18. And Peterson will get the first down. There's a penalty marker down on the far side, on the Vikings side. This will be penalty number 7 of the evening. It could be an illegal formation on Minnesota.
Illegal formation, offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Adrian Peterson, some perspective on the year last year. 5.5 yards per carry. Since 1970, only Barry Sanders in 94, OJ in 73, and Barry in his great 97 season have been better in a year. And that was minimum 200 attempts in a year, but his first year in the league.
You know what's interesting, Mike? The yards per carry is very good, but I look at a running back in efficiency. You know, the percentage of times they get 4+ yards. And amazingly, Peterson only gets 4+ yards 46% of the time. He's explosive, but he has not been sustaining.
Penalty makes it 2nd and 8. Tavares Jackson gives to Peterson. We got around Nick Barnett and got to the 19-yard line for a gain of about 4. We had Barry Sanders on our radio show, Scott Van Pelt and myself, a couple days ago.
I was wondering how you did on the radio today.
I'm bringing you old stuff now, Tom. And we asked Barry, what is it about Adrian Peterson? He's a great back. And what is it about Peterson? He said, it's the ability to get to the edge and either run past you or run over you, as we saw with Al Harris. That combo in one guy is special at this level. From Barry Sanders.
Oh, so if I said it, it would be meaningless.
Exactly. Chester Taylor in 3rd and 4. And Jackson's throw is low for Bernard Berrien, incomplete. And we'll have a field goal attempt coming. Al Harris on the coverage. That tight man-to-man coverage.
Well, with the Green Bay Packers, they love that press man-to-man. They're going to get in your face and jam you at the line of scrimmage. You look at the top of the screen there. He's got a little edge to the inside that does Bernard Berrien, but that throw has got to be on the belt buckle. It was behind him.
They're that play away from being real good, right?
Yeah.
That's because then you can run for 8 yards all the time. You have to make that pass.
That's got to be a completion.
The all-time Packer leading scorer, Ryan Longwell, is booed as he adds a 37-yard field goal to put Minnesota on top for the first time in 08. Well, the Vikings haven't scored offensive points their last couple of trips here to Lambeau. They are on the board tonight, leading 3-0 as you look at Brad Childress, third year as Vikings coach, 0-4 against the Packers. Guy who's worked in the state of Wisconsin, 91 to 98. He was the offensive coordinator for Barry Alvarez, a couple hours down the road in Madison, University of Wisconsin. Short kickoff, Longwell. Up to get it, Will Blackman. Darren Sharper forced him inside. The tackle made by Antoine Winfield. Aaron Rodgers to get the ball at his own 38. See if his offense can stop making mistakes in front of him. Tony, over the years, we became so familiar with this guy, that uniform, in these moments.
All the triumphs, all the tragedies played out in public. Winning a Super Bowl, having an addiction, his wife with her medical circumstances, what happened to his dad. Brett Favre was a unique athlete in this regard. He let you in. He let you see everything that was going on with him, and so people took him to their hearts. He did one other thing that athletes never do. He expressed self-doubt all the time. He said, I don't know if I can get this done. That endeared him even more to the people, and you can imagine how much they loved him for so many years here.
And now they're ready for Aaron Rodgers to begin his era as Packer quarterback, a first down throw and a deep one for Greg Jennings. What a catch at the 6. Pickup of 56 yards on Charles Gordon, who came in because Cedric Griffin was hurt covering the last kickoff.
That is exactly the kind of pass that Brett Favre would have thrown. And look at the way the crowd responds right now. It's Aaron Rodgers, and he's waking the echoes of number 4 with a play like that.
And I love the play call. Mike just said Charles Gordon was in because Cedric Griffin got hurt covering that last kickoff. Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff very aware of what's going on in the field. They call down, they give him a message, and you attack a backup corner.
From the 6, Ryan Grant. Half of it to the 3. Draws 13 snaps, 43 net yards, 5 penalties. They need to shake it up, and able to do that by getting Rodgers out of the pocket and buying some time.
Also, you get in a position on the field, Mike, where you can be a little more aggressive with your play calling. You're backed up. You're very limited what you can do. You get out around beyond that 30-yard line, all of a sudden the playbook opens up. You can begin to take your shots.
A couple of tight ends, including a guy I like, Torrey Humphrey, injured early last year, missed all the season, 84 in motion. Play action. Rodgers, Donald Lee, overthrown, marker down. Offside Vikings.
Play would not have counted. The whistle blew before the ball snapped.
Offside, 69 in the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
He got so used to saying on the offense when Green Bay's had it.
You'll see Donald Lee wide open on this play action fake, but this play had been whistled dead. Even if it would have been a good throw, it would not have counted. They still would have liked to see him hit him. They had a play very similar to that against San Francisco in the preseason. Donald Lee dropped it, so I think they're having some problem with that little corner route in the red zone.
Inside the 2, so it's technically second and goal from the 1. Looking toward Lee again. Rodgers is sacked at the 11 by Ray Edwards. And there's a flag down in the end zone this time. Defensive holding.
I believe Torrey Humphrey, the backside tight end on the cross, was held.
Holding number 54 of the defense. Half the distance to goal. Automatic first down.
Linebacker Vinny Turchu.
You can sense how this place will explode if indeed the Packers score. If Rodgers completes a pass here and they score, it would be like, okay, we're all right, we can exhale now, and we got the guy. But if they're stopped,
well, Mike McCarthy has given him 2 chances with the play action pass. Right. Let's see if he goes with it again.
Well, now they got 3 cracks at least at it from the 1. First and goal after the defensive hold. Grant is stopped and met. Now another flag down. This is brutal. This will be penalty number 10
offside
in the game's first 20 minutes.
Offside defense. Number 51. Lined up in the neutral zone. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
3 and 3 plays from Minnesota.
I'm glad you could count. It's good. Glad you're paying attention.
I was an English major, but I learned how to count to 10 at some point in college.
You're alert, too. I like that.
Corey Hall and John Kuhn both into block. Grant tied up. He almost lost the handle, too. Fred Evans made the play. Their D-line is strong, and Grant hasn't had a lot of contact down by the goal line and goal line drills. because he's been out all of camp with a hamstring.
He's only had 5 practices, and you'll see you win the line of scrimmage. The defensive line, it's all about penetration. And you can see Fred Evans just blow this thing up in the backfield, all about penetration. Ryan Grant had nowhere to run. Almost a 3-yard loss on the play.
Grant tries to stretch it. Is he in? No. 3rd and goal. Kevin Williams stopping him. Let's see how close he got.
Well, we're coming right into your living room. You got to see this one. It is very close. He is not in.
Where the ball is when the knee comes down.
Well, your quarterback 6'2", 220 pounds. See what kind of ball carrier he is.
Good throw down here. Oh, boy. Touchdown. Corey Hall.
Okay, let me state the obvious before anybody else does. You saw Rodgers on that play almost get hit, make one move, basically falling down, make that kind of play.
I know what you're going to say.
Okay, well, does it? Does it remind you of him at all?
Yeah, that was far. Like, okay, are you happy now?
Are the people in here ecstatic? And
yeah, because the Packers scored. And you got to let it go, Tony.
And the game is joined at this point. The game is joined. That's a Favre-like throw.
I'll go into the football. Aaron Rodgers did a great job with the play action. Corey Hall was about the 4th receiver in that progression. Great job in that regard by Rodgers.
New snapper and holder. And not the best looking kick, but Mason Crosby gets it through. First National Football League touchdown for Corey Hall out of Boise State. Aaron Rodgers' 2nd NFL TD pass. And he did a good job to get it in. Packers lead.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Vizio and the all-new XVT series. Vizio, America's HD TV company. Miller Lite. Reach for the original. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans. And the GMC Sierra, official vehicle of the NFL and proud supporter of those who never say never.
From all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Canada, even Australia, season ticket holders. Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. They watched Aaron Rodgers throw his first touchdown here. Remember, he had 1 touchdown in his 3 prior years, touchdown pass. That was in Dallas in the game last November. Chester Taylor back to take the kickoff, but a big kickoff by Mason Crosby. No return. Reason to smile.
Very much so.
Vikings take over at their own 20. For the Packers now on top. Packers have won the last 4 meetings, these 2 NFC North rivals. -1 in the passing yard column for Rodgers opposite number Tavares Jackson takes over from his own 20. Jackson chased by Brady Papinga. Throws it to some guy on the sideline. A reminder, it is a Monday Night Football season opening doubleheader. You'll see the Broncos and the Raiders. Jaws, give me a little feel for what you expect coming up after our game.
You know what I love? The young quarterbacks. You know, we talk about this game sometimes not having the depth of quarterback position around the league. Jay Cutler, Jamarcus Russell, and 2 guys with big old guns on their shoulder. They can swing it. That'll be a fun one. The 3 Mikes are going to have fun out in the Bay Area.
Greeny Golick and Ditka coming up after we're done. It's Chester Taylor exploring and finding Nick Barnett. Hasn't made a Pro Bowl, but probably will pretty soon. Darn good linebacker. 3rd down coming up.
Well, as a group, their 3 linebackers are outstanding. When you look at Hawk, Barnett, and Papinga, they just make plays and they play well together. They play with tremendous discipline. That's the key to good, solid defense.
Here's 3rd and 9, a pass down back in your own territory, and Jackson's only 1 of 4 tonight for 9 yards.
And once again, the Packers just press everyone on the outside. They're going to force tough throws for Tavares Jackson.
Green Bay bringing 5. Jackson throwing the deep ball. Flag down as Bernard Berrien tried to bring it in coverage with Al Harris, and the flag was thrown at those two guys. That's why they have Berrien to run the deep ball this year.
And Al Harris loves to get in this position. He's just going to grab and push and hold and jam.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. First down.
Kind of subtle, got their arms locked a little bit. But what was Berrien telling us, guys, last night when we met with the Vikings? He said, we asked all of our corners, hey, hold us, grab us, 10, 15, 20, commit penalties. Get us ready for Woodson and Harris, because that's what they're going to do.
And that's what Al did there. He got called for it. And normally the Vikings downfield are not a good passing team on those balls 20 yards or plus down the air. 36 from last year, only 4 were complete, about 11%. So they're going to take their shots, which is good, but they got to hit a few.
26 yards on the penalty. And a first down throw. Jackson got hit as he threw, so it's underthrown and incomplete. Ryan Pickett pushed the middle and got there, and Jackson couldn't get anything under it. Jaws, you mentioned the problems they had passing the ball. Best run offense in the league, worst pass offense in the league. Defensive side, toughest team to run against in the league. And a lot of people knew, I'm not going to run against these Williams guys, so they had a lot of passes, as much as anyone thrown against them, 28th in pass defense.
Yeah, so this is a team that's very good in the pedestrian side of both sides of the football. But there, Bernard Berrien was open. If Tavares had time on the double move, it would have been a touchdown.
Peterson back in. No game. Aaron Campbell doesn't get the credit for the tackle, but he forced the play back inside.
Coming out of that graphic about that enormous disparity with the Vikings, that's why they went and bought the people they bought. $31 million guaranteed to Jared Allen. $16 million guaranteed to Bernard Berrien, a wide receiver. $13 million to Madu Williams, a safety, to change the defense. Ziggy Wilk at the moment is the George Steinbrenner of the NFL. He's spending every dime he's got to get a winner, and he's not probably going to be all that patient.
Owner of the team bought him in 05. Third down. Jackson slings it short. Berrien can't make the first down because Atari Bigby came up from his safety spot with a good open field tackle.
Excellent tackle by Atari Bigby. He was staring down the quarterback Tavares Jackson, reading his eyes, and he saw the crossing route and drove it hard in the open field, made a terrific tackle. You'll see right here, wrap him up, take him down, about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
Chris Cluey, very good last year at pitting the opponents inside the 20 and directional kicking, forcing Will Blackman to field it on the hop and go down to the 12-yard line. Past the special teams, led by Churchill and Heron, made the tackle. Big play last time for Rodgers. We'll see what he does after this. Ron Jaworski, Tony Kornheiser, rest of the great women and men on our Monday Night Football crew. Mike Tirico, glad you're with us. Lambeau Field, with the temperatures in the 50s. Opening night 2008 for the team that was an overtime away from the Super Bowl last year. 13-3 Green Bay. Last drive a touchdown. This their poorest starting position of the night. And Ryan Grant into the secondary. First down. Gain of 20. That's a big play, the biggest play of the half, through the air from Aaron Rodgers last drive.
And well executed by the Green Bay Packers. They attacked the free safety, number 25, Tyrell Johnson. He's a rookie out of Arkansas State. He's not used to seeing this kind of speed. He takes 2-step in. That's enough. He's done when he peeks in the backfield. He's a cluer, got nosy. That left a one-on-one matchup on the outside, and Aaron Rodgers took advantage of it.
And then that paid off in a very good Rodgers play to get the touchdown to Corey Hall. Brandon Jackson, backup running back. Gets a couple of yards. Jaws, show me how good that touchdown pass was by Rodgers.
You know, we opened the show talking about eye discipline and vision and all those things, and here's Aaron Rodgers. I love the play. Here's the play action fake. Quickly, number 1, he looks in the flat. Receiver not open. Number 2, he looks at the corner route coming over the top. Not there. Now he looks for the cross side coming in. Not there. Number 4 is Corey Hall, who just comes to the vision right here, and as Tony said, this is Favre-like. But look at the eyes downfield. Look at the vision. No panic, looking for a receiver.
And a nice ball, too. Falling off. Some meat on it. To a good spot. Taken off. First down.
You know, the one thing that Aaron Rodgers can do is extend the play. He can move outside the pocket.
And we better get outside and not get hurt, because backing him up, there's nothing at all. I've mentioned this before. The great gamble here. He was given, it's not to disparage Rodgers, because he's good, but he was given a 13-3 team. And so the question becomes, is this the right year, the right time to hand a 13-3 team over to somebody with inexperience? Because they're knocking on the Super Bowl door. That's the great question in all of this.
After Rodgers' second rushing first down, down the middle, Driver. Tied up by Winfield. First down, gain of 25. Ted Thompson, GM, Green Bay.
He's the guy who did it. Well, he and Mike McCarthy, they made this decision. Brett Favre said he wanted to come back, and they finally said the train has moved out of the station. All right, now that I question that, because that was in July. They hadn't even loaded up the train yet. There are no passengers on the train. It's done now.
You really forget that Brett Favre retired. He quit playing football. What are they supposed to do? Wait for him to come back? Wait for him to come back? You've got to move on.
Well,
there comes a point
he said hello.
You've got to move on.
I'm coming back.
Yeah, and on June 20th.
Brandon Jackson the back. He got a couple of yards. E.J. Henderson with the tackle, the defensive most valuable player for Minnesota last year.
Here's what I love about Rodgers here. The stripe of the helmet perpendicular to the line of scrimmage does not give the defense a tip on where he was going to throw the football, because the focal point is down the field. It's the little things, the mechanical things that Aaron Rodgers learned from Brett Favre that gets him prepared for this situation. 3 years behind one of the greatest of all time, you're going to learn a few things.
Rodgers for Jordy Nelson, the rookie. Incomplete. Well covered downfield. Rodgers also took a shot along the way. Jaws, explain that stripe of the helmet thing. You're talking about something you watch for with quarterbacks?
Absolutely. You know, and I look at the end zone camera all the time because I get a chance to see where the quarterback head is going. And if you start looking to the right or to the left, that's going to tip the defense. So you look right down the middle of the field. You keep that stripe on the helmet perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, so you're not getting a tip of where you're throwing the football.
And that's one thing you talk about Rodgers learning from Favre.
Learn from Favre, absolutely. And they do a great job.
What happens if your helmet doesn't have a stripe? You're in terrible trouble then, Jaws. Gotta get a stripe.
You get a stripe.
After hitting 5 in a row, Rodgers missed the last one. Connects on this one to Jennings, who couldn't keep it alive to get the first down. Good job to tie him up. And gets a fourth down. Benny Sapp
It was a
came into
rodeo
the extra
tackle.
DB to make the play.
Rodeo tackle. Just hold him, throw him.
Yeah, really good job by Benny Sapp. Once again, in that man-to-man coverage, you know, in your open field, you got to make a tackle.
Hey guys, Green Bay's going to go for a field goal here. Their long snapper, was injured last game of the season, preseason. So Brett Good's the new snapper for Mason Crosby. Derek Frost, the new punter, is now the holder. The extra point exchange didn't look too good. This one looks a little bit better. And is good from 42 yards. Back-to-back drives with points for Aaron Rodgers, settling in his first National Football League start. Leads by 7. Been talking about it all summer. Big game of the college football opening month. number 5 Ohio State, number 1 Southern California. Brett Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit will be out there in the Coliseum in Los Angeles, 8 Eastern on ABC. Saturday Night Football. Buckeyes were trailing with 8 minutes or with 12 minutes there in that final quarter against Ohio on Saturday, but able to come back and get the win.
And your point?
I think USC feels pretty good about their chances.
You're saying Ohio State must play better. I agree.
Yes, they must. Chester Taylor bringing the kick back from the goal line. Well covered by the Packers. Return of 20 yards, tackled by Brandon Schiller.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson is everything you want in the back. You know, he's got that quickness, he's got the speed, he's got the vision. He gives you everything. And I love the power right there. Just runs over Al Harris. You know, here's that lateral agility right there. Point of attack is taken away. He bounces, he can see. And he's a finisher. You know, a lot of guys, when they get around people in the open field, they go down. There are a number of guys getting to the sideline. They go out of bounds. Adrian Peterson, he's fighting for the yard.
He's been it. He has 66 yards. The Vikings have 91 total. They run left side. Johnny Jolly tackles, but he gets about 8 yards. And running left side has been a staple for Minnesota over the last few years. You have Matt Burke, the center. Steve Hutchinson, the left guard, who they got from Seattle with that huge free agency deal. And usually Bryant McKinney's over there at left tackle, but he's suspended for 4 games, violating the league personal conduct policy. So Artis Hicks, 79, is the starter at left tackle for the month of September. He has 4 left tackle starts in his career back in Philadelphia. He's good, but he's not Bryant McKinney. Second and 2, Jackson loading up. Darian said he wanted it. Al Harris bumped him. The Viking bench irate that no flag was called for the bump as the ball was in the air. Third down.
Well, that ball was a long way down the field. Once again, you have the one-on-one coverage. Bernard Berry and Al Harris. He gives him the free access to the inside. A ball out in front of him. He might have a shot. Can't make that call. Ooh.
Really?
Ooh,
You can't make that call?
I didn't. I saw the other angle. I changed my mind. Okay. Great job. I love that super slow.
You can make the call. You should have made the call.
And they didn't make the call.
Play clock down at 2. Timeout Minnesota. And a 3rd and 2 with 2:25 until halftime. Back at Lambeau, Packers lead by 7. Tavares Jackson's second year as a starter, 3rd year in the league, and you saw a little bit of the raw ability that he has there. That ball was almost 60 yards in the air, so he's got the arm, he has the mobility when he gets out and runs.
Does he have the accuracy?
Or the experience, or the acumen to do it. It's a process right now, and that's visible tonight. 3rd and 2, Peterson. And Adrian Peterson will get the first down with Nick Barnett tackling, depending on the spot. Let's check it. It's going to be real close. As we get close to the 2-minute warning. Going to measure here.
You know, we have an Adrian Peterson in the backfield. You know what he's going to do. He's going to run the football. He's an outstanding back. But eventually, Tavares Jackson is going to have to make plays. You can't hide your quarterback. When you're loading up the box with defenders, I don't care what they're doing on the outside, you've got to start completing balls.
At the moment, he has 6 yards passing, and we're almost at the 2-minute warning.
You can see Peterson was unhappy. He didn't like the spot. It's where the ball is when your knee first comes down. And it was marked short. So this Viking team, Tony, to your point, they have no first downs passing in the game here tonight. Going to punch it away.
They got nothing. And this is a very important game to them in particular because it is a division game, because they're 0-4 recently against the Packers, because their ownership is very upset at the tampering charges with Brett Favre. And if they could win this game, if Minnesota could go on the road and beat Green Bay, they'd be able to puff out their chests and say, we're the kings of this division right now.
Good move by Minnesota. Don't snap. You have the 2-minute warning coming as the clock restarts. And the Packers will get the ball back with their full complement of timeouts after this punt. 2 minutes till halftime. know Tom Brady's out for the season. Chris Berman and Tom Jackson discussed that. The fastest 3 minutes. And Sunday Thunder, the biggest hits from yesterday, all coming up on the Toyota halftime show. Will Blackman's a catch. Chris Pluey's punt. You know, spots are something you can review via replay. We looked at it during the timeout. By the way, that was a very good spot. It was spotted correctly. Vikings were shy of the first down. Short punt, 38 yards. On the run, Blackman tripped up by Charles Gordon. And Green Bay takes over at the 32. You've seen some examples. Here's Aaron Rodgers telling us what he learned from his time around Brett Favre.
Really, two things that I've really tried to take from his game are the anticipation and eye control that he played with and continues to play with. He's incredible at throwing guys open and moving players with his eyes. And when you play a defense like Minnesota, you really have to be smart with your eyes, because a lot of their guys in their coverage schemes are reading with their eyes.
Jaws, have you seen that tonight?
Absolutely. I thought he's played the game very well with his eyes as well as his legs. He's extended plays and made plays.
2-minute drill for Rodgers. Kept the play alive and throws incomplete. The pressure came from Kevin Williams, part of the Pro Bowl defensive tackle combo.
Aaron Rodgers, you know, we heard him talking about you must control the secondary, call manipulation. You do that with your eyes. You do by looking people off. You do a shoulder roll, a pump, all those things to help your receivers. I mean, he has not started the game, but he looks like he's played before.
Exactly. Doesn't look like a first-time NFL starter because of that experience of 3 years. Brandon Jackson's the back in the game. He runs. He's stopped, lost a yard and a half. Will Minnesota take a timeout or wait? They're going to wait here with $1:33 to go.
To the point about Rodgers not being a young quarterback, he told us the other day that he thought Minnesota would test the young quarterback. Can he handle a blitz? Can he find his receivers? Can a young quarterback survive the storm? And I said, are you actually a young quarterback? And he went, no. Without hesitation, no. I've been here for a while. I'm confident I can do this.
But he is only 24 years old.
But he thinks of himself as a grizzled vet to some degree.
And that's good.
The 33 of blitz is coming. It's picked up. Rodgers got it to Greg Jennings. First down.
Well, you can't throw the ball better to the outside, Mike. He knew he had the isolation route on the outside with Charles Gordon matched up against, I believe it was Greg Jennings on the catch, Mike. I did not see it the far side. And boy, just threw a rope out there and made the grab.
14 yards for Jennings tonight. 4 catches and 74 yards. Donald Driver's been the primetime receiver. I think Greg Jennings starting to emerge a bit into that role off a great year last year. No James Jones, the usual third receiver for Green Bay. He's out with an injury. There's a bullet to Jennings again. E.J. Henderson, the tackle, first down, and a Packer timeout with 55 seconds left.
You know, Aaron Rodgers himself a moment ago was talking about anticipation. He did a terrific job there of anticipating the opening and stuck it in.
Packers at the 36 timeout.
First and 10 home at the 36.
Bottom of your screen at Wyatt Street, Lombardi Avenue. Delivering everybody over here to Lambeau out of the timeout. First and 10 for 36. Room. Rodgers runs. And that pump fake bought him extra yards. Out of bounds. At the 15. Scramble of 21. Third time tonight that Aaron Rodgers has run for a first down.
And this will change the way the Minnesota Vikings will play their coverage. Because what he's doing, he's seeing some of his man coverage. He gets out of the pocket. He knows he's got room. It will force the Vikings to play more zone coverage behind their passer so they can attack Aaron Rodgers when he decides to run.
And he got Antoine Winfield, the 10-year veteran, in that pump. Froze him and got him 10 more yards.
That's a leap, but they tell you never leap. Quarterback's never going to throw when he does that little pump fake. And Antoine Winfield jumped in the air and got him.
To the 15. Runs out of bounds, throws it. A penalty marker comes down back near the line of scrimmage as Donald Driver was down in the back of the end zone. Aaron Rodgers not happy that Ray Edwards twisted his ankle on the way out. The flag back here is on the Packer offensive line downfield.
Ineligible downfield. Number 75 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Mark Tauscher downfield on the play. Probably thought that Aaron was going to take off with it. That was your guy, man. You loved him in the meetings.
Looks just like Jack Black, except much bigger. Looks spitting image of Jack Black. He was the guy who called you, and I quote, something of a guru. So I thought he was your guy.
When offensive linemen recognize me as a guru, I think that is a compliment.
Interesting that they took the 5 yards there and not the incompletion for second down here because they only have 2 timeouts in 40 seconds. Not sure if I would have done that. To Brendan Jackson. Inbounds, 4 yards, timeout Green Bay. They have 1 remaining with 32 seconds left in the half. Chad Greenway made the tackle with Benny Sack.
Pretty big drive right now for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he talked to us as if he had confidence in Jaws. He's playing like he's got
no question. And I love this throw right here. He's anticipating the throws. He's seeing the field with clarity. You're seeing every throw that you have to make. The deep ball, the short pass, the screen game, the play action game. Here, this is incredible. I mean, Corey Hall's like the 4th receiver coming backside to make that catch. Eyes were downfield all the time. And he's playing like when he sat with us in the meetings. There's a certain calmness to his demeanor. It wasn't too big for him. I mean, this is an incredible spotlight he's under. You said, I mean, for a young guy, no one's facing more pressure in the league this year.
Oh, he's the most scrutinized guy.
He's handling it very well.
Yes.
All the options available, 32 seconds, 1 timeout, 3 receivers. Feed it out to Jackson. Good job by Greenway to chase it down, bring Jackson down inbounds. Let's see what they'll do here with 3rd down coming up in 20 seconds. McCarthy's going to run it down and then take his timeout.
That's what it looks like. Let it go to 7 seconds and call timeout.
Interesting. Choose not to try to squeeze in another play and set up for the field goal with 3 seconds left here on 3rd down.
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
I have no problem with it. You know, you want to be aggressive, but I think in this situation, you know you've got a 1-score lead here at 10-3. You don't want to turn the ball over. You at least want to give yourself a chance.
It's nice. You don't want to take one shot at the goal line to get 7 points? Are you kidding me?
One shot. What about an interception? What about a sack and a fumble? There are some negative things that could happen.
No. You don't wind it down to that to take a safe field goal. You're home. This is a big game. You take a shot.
No, you don't. You want to get it. You're 7 points up. You make a field goal, you got a 2-score lead. It changes the whole dynamic of what the other team has to do.
Minnesota could have declined that penalty earlier, so it's a push. Both guys should have done something else.
Hey,
it's a push.
Mike agrees with me, Jaws. They should have gone for the touchdown. You're in the minority on this one.
All right.
Well,
but I'm going to be right. But I'm going to be right when they kick this field goal.
Crosby good from 42. Gets it blocked.
I guess
they should have went for it.
Ball kept alive, and the Vikings try to keep it alive with the laterals as the half comes to an end, and that frustrates the fans.
I don't know. I thought you were something of a guru. I guess not.
That was a low kick. It was a low kick.
Should have gone.
There was no penetration whatsoever.
Remember, a new snapper, a new holder this week. They've only been together for about 6 days, so a good block by the Vikings. They take momentum in the locker room. They get the ball to start the second half. It's 10-3 Green Bay, and it's Chris Berman now in the Toyota Halftime Show. Back at Lambeau Field, Mike Tirico, Tony Kornheiser, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya is down on the sideline as well. It's halftime. It is 10-3 Green Bay. Tony, if you're sitting right in the column, What's your first half storyline?
Well, here's what I would have done. I wanted to see Mike McCarthy let Aaron Rodgers go for that touchdown pass. That might have made it 17-3. Then you begin to write Aaron Rodgers. So now I'm sort of stuck as a writer. And you know what I do? I get on the phone and I try and call Brett Favre in New Jersey. And I try to say, help me out here. What do you think of this
I'm
guy?
going to put a Favre moratorium on the second half. You're limited to 5 mentions. Jaws, where do you adjust here coming out of the locker room?
Well, Tavares Jackson's got to get into the game. He's 2 of 7 for 16 yards. They really haven't developed any balance to their offense. Certainly Adrian Peterson having a big first half, but they got to get the passing game going. And I'll say it maybe for the first time all year, points do come out of the passing game, Mike, so you got to start hitting a few.
Tony, for what it's worth, Brett Favre's first start, the halftime score was Green Bay 10, Pittsburgh 3.
Really?
Yeah. Second half begins with Andre Allison returning a kickoff. And he's brought down at the 14 by Aaron Rouse, the safety. Tavares Jackson and the Vikings, not so much. Last time they went a first half without getting a first down via the air, right here, Lambeau Field, last year.
And Brooks Bollinger was the quarterback.
Wait. They lost that game 34-0.
Yeah.
This does not portend well.
You know when you go to a game and you're watching the game settle in and there's a one play that changes the entire momentum or aura of the game? The long pass in the first half to Jennings changed because the Vikings are controlling the defensive line. Maybe the blocked field goal will get a little bit of Minnesota back home. From 14. Up in the air, deflected by Charles Woodson and Atari Bigby, and incomplete. Woodson, the veteran, drags himself off the ground.
Well, Adrian Peterson had the big play in that first half, the big run for the Vikings. You'll see this play is supposed to go to the left, and you'll see the backside guard pulling around there. That is Ryan Cook coming around. All of a sudden, here's the play. Here's the cutback right here. Now to the right. Now here's where Adrian Peterson is so good when he gets in space.
Look like little chess pieces. That was cool, Jaws.
All kinds of gimmicks and gadgets here.
Good.
Around Johnny Jolly. Well, Cullen Jenkins, I should say, beg your pardon, Nick Barnett and Brady Papinga over there to stop Peterson after a gain of a couple. And they're going to have to complete passes to win at some point here, and they're on a 1 per quarter pace. Jackson's completed 2 passes all night.
Well, that won't get it done. We know that. As I said a moment ago, they've got to get some balance in this offense. Right now, the running game has been good. The passing game has been non-existent.
And some reminders, Jackson hasn't played since the early portion of the second preseason game. Knee sprain. Says it feels okay, not limited. Wearing a brace tonight. Blitz coming. Woodson sneaking in. Jackson getting away. First down and more. The 35-yard line. Nick Collins with the tackle, but a gain of 18 keeps the drive going.
Here's a question. That same sort of play is where you ran into Ray Lewis in the preseason, and you were out for 2 games. Jaws, as a quarterback, should he have slid there?
No, I mean, he's got to start making some plays right now. Does a real good job. Again, focal point downfield, no one open. He sees the seam and he takes it. I mean, he's got to get himself going in this game. Maybe he'll take a run like that, start building his confidence.
We're going to go 4 wide. One of them's a tight end. And spread it out. And the pressure. Jackson hit, but on stride. Bernard Berrien tripped up at the last second by Charles Woodson at the 37-yard line. First down and a gain of 25.
Well, that was a big-time throw because there is pressure. There's no question of that. Mike Montgomery coming off the edge. Hits Tavares just as he throws the football. But this is a really good throw right here. This is out in front where you got to put it on the belt buckle. Bernard Berrien almost takes to the house. Charles Woodson with a great tackle in the open field. Excellent throw.
And you know what Berrien was thinking? He's like, wait, I got through the arm tackle. I fell down on my own in the run there. Almost stole one. Good time. Good throw. Garrett Mills. First down to the 18-yard line.
What happened to this guy at halftime?
They've opened the playbook up. I told you, first down, you got to throw the football. Base defense, base coverage. Quarterback understands what he's doing. You're asking a quarterback to throw on 3rd and long all day. All those hybrid coverages. Here, nice cradle to throw the football from. He reads it real nice. Good delivery. That's what you have to do. Now you've got the defense playing the run and the pass. The momentum shifting toward the Vikings.
Back-to-back completions of 24 and 23. From the 17, another first down throw. Jackson hit as he throws to the end zone. Oh, did he stay in? No! Berrien almost made a spectacular play off the deflection by Visante Shenko, the tight end.
Once again, a good job by Jackson keeping the play alive. He's thrown toward the back of the end zone. Take a look at it right there. Oh, one.
College and 6 in college.
Yeah, that's super slow. You kind of got to wait. Now he's got possession, 1 foot in.
Yeah, that right foot is off the ground once he gets possession. What a great play. If Shenko doesn't tip that, Berrien may have caught it on his own. He didn't know that Berrien was behind him. Peterson stopped but bounces it. Looking at Al Harris. Hog tie at the 10.
That was a great tackle by Al Harris. The last time he ran into Adrian Peterson in the open field, he just got steamrolled. Al came up and made the play, and as you said, horse collared him down to the ground.
The last time he was taking a license plate number as he fell down. This time he got him. This is a radically different Minnesota team. This is just not the same team that ended the first half.
Halftime adjustments. It appears the Vikings are going to say, we're going to open this game up a little bit. I thought that first half, they were playing way too close to the vest.
2nd and 3. Sidney Rice in motion. Peterson. Nick Barnett. Good job. Ball comes down after he's down. 3rd down coming up. Barnett's having a good game here tonight.
Well, Tony, I'll ask you, should they go for it since you're Mr. Critic here?
You go for it. You take points here.
Okay.
Pass for it.
All right, I just want to be sure.
Take a field goal.
I'm just checking to be sure if you're paying attention. I agree with you.
I would hope so.
Ryan Longwell from 27 yards. 31 of 31 inside the 45 as a Viking. And he keeps that record perfect. Opening drive, field goal. Started their own 14. Got 3 points.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Miller Lite. Reach for the original Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. IBM. When you're ready to stop talking innovation and start doing, visit IBM.com/doing. Verizon Wireless and DirecTV must-have equipment for any sports fan.
The great Midwest. So good to be here in Wisconsin. It's a great rivalry with Minnesota and Wisconsin, the college football teams, the pro football teams, even their attitudes. Our up north's better than your up north. Our lakes are prettier than your lakes.
Our cheese curds, saltier than your cheese curds.
Good return room to start for Blackman, but he's brought down to the 25-yard line. There comes the whistle. I don't know why there was no whistle early on, but it stopped at 25. Aaron Rodgers put his team on top. See what he can do with his first third-quarter drive after this. Nice early start, so the young Packer fans able to get out here. 6 o'clock local time start. Folks from tailgating since early in the morning, so it's great. They got to put cheese in their omelets. Just some cheeseburgers and cheese curds to bring in the building.
Just doesn't get any better than this for football.
I actually bought a bottle of Cheesehead white wine the other day.
Sorry.
Took 2 sips and said that's enough for me.
Solid first half for Rodgers, 12 of 16. Donald Lee, his tight end, tackled by half the Vikings. Gain of about a half dozen.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers, this is a touchdown in the first half. Does a real good job. The play action's on to get the fullback quickly in the flat, not there. The tight end back with the bow out, not there. The pressure forced him to move. He came back, looked at number 3, was there, and then he finds Hall in the back of the end zone. Just a terrific job right there.
That's a great look to see how all 11 players have to work every second of the play, and Rodgers helped keep it alive, too, in the pocket.
And it all happened in about 2.2 seconds.
Brian Grant is the back. A pump and throw for Donald Driver. He got Winfield to bite and says good night. Touchdown. Flag down. Coming back.
Eligible downfield. Number 75 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Jaws. That is a killer penalty. your right guard downfield on that play.
Inexcusable.
Wow.
To have a lineman downfield with a quick slant and go. Wow. What a great catch by Driver. You'll see it right here. Look at him look this in. Perfect throw from Aaron Rodgers. Driver outruns Antoine Winfield to the house, but wow. Man. Inexcusable. Just inexcusable to have a lineman downfield.
I think it's 3 penalties on Tony Mall, the third-year right guard, getting the start here tonight. Started there 3 times in 07. And those young offensive linemen in the draft, the interior of the line, Darren College, Jason Spitz, and Tony Mall, and, had some problems here tonight. And now Pat and Kevin Williams with a little meeting at the running back, and it's 3rd down after the Grants carry.
What a deflating moment for a team, you know, Jaws. You have a touchdown taken away like that. It's utterly deflating, and it's not like that was the first penalty on the Packers all night. That's about the 45th penalty on the Packers.
Just inexcusable. I can't understand why your right guard would be 5 yards downfield.
3rd down, show him blitz over the quarterback with Chad Greenway, who backs out. Rodgers pass to Driver's caught, but he's shy of the 1st down. So what could have been a touchdown to go up 11 and instead turns in to a punt.
That's 2 moments for them. Okay, they decide not to go for a touchdown, go for a field goal, get it blocked. Lose points that way in effect. Lose 6 right.
10 points. Yeah, 10 points.
Derek Frost kicks. One of the reasons they changed punters on Monday, Frost, a 2-step kicker, gets rid of it quicker. Penalty marker down as it's fielded by Andre Allison at the 18. And returned by the receiver to the 23. 50-yard kick. Return 6.
Look at that by Rodgers. Woo.
Back here in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers frustrated on the sideline with good reason. What would have been a touchdown, not because of a rare, ineligible downfield on a quick pass by Tony Mall. Guard.
But, Mike, sometimes you can outsmart yourself. This is a running play by the Green Bay Packers. There's Tony Mall. This is a running play. You can see 2 linemen actually downfield. It's a quarterback wide receiver option called smoke, adjust. It was a slant, but the corner jumped it, so they went to the slant and go. You build these passing plays into your running game to get big plays. So you can't, I apologize to Tony Mall. He was executing the running play, but it was a pass play. He was downfield in the running play, as was Spitz.
Okay, running plays called. Change the line, smoke, the receiver, the quarterback adjust. There has to be a change in the protection, doesn't there?
No, none at all.
Okay.
Only 2 players know it, the wide receiver and the quarterback. Now, when he saw Winfield jump it, or else it would have been just a slant. If the corner's way off, you throw the slant or a quick hitch.
Okay.
But Winfield jumped the route, so Rodgers didn't throw it, and obviously you saw a driver, once you saw him jump it, he just turned and ran up the field.
So nobody's at fault?
No one's at fault.
Just one of those things.
One of those crazy things where you outsmart yourself.
Only cost them 6 points, but nobody's at fault.
That's right. Good. Don't outsmart yourself. Just stay dumb like us, right? Oh, man. Vikings take over at the 11. Jackson got rid of it. Tried to get it to his fullback, Thomas DePay, but Cullen Jenkins was knocking him on his bottom. And those of you may just be coming in from work on the West Coast as we get past 6 o'clock. You've watched Vikings Packers for years. You know the bad weather, the old NFC Central, now the NFC North, and Brad Childress and Mike McCarthy now involved in this. And the fan base, the states, and now on the ownership president level with these teams, there's been a little sauce added to this rivalry, the whole tampering charges in the aftermath of the Favre dance with Minnesota. It was a good rivalry. It's gotten even better this year. Jackson, Shenko, tight end. Ball came down as he hit the ground. Incomplete pass. What a shot by Nick Collins, who knocked it out. Incomplete 3rd down.
But an excellent job by Tavares Jackson. You'll see here 1 foot, 2 feet. That's pretty close to a fumble.
Just
1
didn't
foot,
see.
2 foot. I guess so.
1, 2, got it down, and then the ball comes out after it hits the ground. So if you said 1-2 catch,
Right,
the ball coming down when it hit the ground,
it would be a completion.
That's right. It would have been Viking ball there.
There's a challenge right there.
Yeah.
Childress. It's out there. Glad's out there. Everybody sees the replay as quickly as you do, Jaws, and decides that's a legitimate catch. Ground can't cause a fumble. They keep the ball. That's the basis of the challenge.
Yeah, it's something that's been discussed. We'll get into it after the break. It might not be as simple as 1-2 reception. So the play's being reviewed. Minnesota with its first challenge of the night. Did Visanthe Shenko have 2 feet down possession and then the ground causing the ball to come loose? As you watch these replays, keep this in mind. This is happening at real speed. So it's so hard to say that 1, 2, and then the immediate hit after that second foot down is completely 2 feet and then the ball coming out. There needs to be some human element to respond to it. So via slow motion replay,
Super slow motion.
exactly, you know that second foot's down. So now Jeff Triplett is underneath trying to determine if that is catching Viking ball to 36, incomplete pass, which was the ruling on the field. Well, the whistle blew for the incomplete pass, so I don't think you'd see Green Bay come up with a fumble recovery in this situation after the ball came out. It was whistled immediately as down and incomplete. So we'll see.
It's very close because when the second foot came down, it was simultaneous contact with a foot coming down. Normally, that would be an incomplete pass if he didn't have complete control when he went to the ground. It's very close.
Well, it's simultaneous, as Mike points out, in real time, in real speed. But when you look at replay, you look at every slow motion thing you can, and that changes. That changes your look, right?
Here's a real speed look just to give you a sense. Watch and listen. And here's Jeff Triplett's post-replay decision.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. The receiver did not maintain possession during the process of making the catch when he went to the ground. Minnesota is charged a timeout.
So Minnesota has 2 timeouts and 1 challenge remaining, and I think that would fall under the column that we were talking about where that second foot and then the hit that forced it almost happens within Michael Phelps hunkered for the second time.
That's right. That one was tight.
Did he really win that race?
He still hasn't won it. The other guy still touched first.
He got the medal.
It's a touch pad, not a push pad.
Third down, and these fans respond here in Green Bay. Tavares Jackson hit as he threw it to Chester Taylor, who holds on after another big Nick Collins lick. First down, Kabir Bajabiamila and Aaron Campman a second late.
A terrific job by Tavares Jackson. He held on to the ball to the last possible second to get the ball to Chester Taylor. There was pressure up the middle. He looks down the gun barrel. That's what you have to do. You'll see Campman matched against Cook. Push, hand in the face. Double teamed, he goes down. Great job by Tavares Jackson. Hanging in the pocket and delivering.
This quarter, he has completions of 24, 23, and 14. Adrian Peterson spun by Johnny Jolly. The game's only a couple of yards.
We spend a lot of time on the obvious angle of Aaron Rodgers in a circumstance like this, but Tavares Jackson under tremendous scrutiny as well because of the toys and options that the team went out and bought for him. And what his coach, Brad Childress, wants to see is the same sort of maturation that Mike McCarthy wants to see with Aaron Rodgers. He said the other day of Tavares Jackson, can he understand the weight and the mantle of being a starting quarterback in the NFL? Can he feel what that's like? Can he win a game for me? Maybe tonight he drives him down the field.
2 tight ends, 1 receiver. Jackson got free long enough to throw it deep. Al Harris trying to outreach Berrien to the incompletion. Cullen Jenkins getting there, and in this second half, we've seen Green Bay put pressure on Jackson.
Well, I also like the fact that Brad Childress has opened up this playbook. It's not turning around and handing it to Peterson. Not that that's not a bad idea, but you have to maintain some sort of balance in your offense. And you'll see, once again, Brady does a good job of stepping up as Cullen Jenkins is all over him, regathers, settles, and delivers the ball down the field. And this was well covered. He was throwing it away, but a good job of not taking a sack by Jackson.
And that was Marcus Jackson at left tackle. I don't see Artis Hicks in there at left tackle. Hicks is the guy who started for Bryant McKinney tonight. So Kabir Bajabiamila going to take a shot at it off the right end here. Incomplete, intended for Bobby Wade, 4th down.
Well, Marcus Johnson, a good job of handling Kabir Bajabiamila on there, but the wide receivers just couldn't shake loose.
This Kluwe punts. It's a return. Will Blackman 24, 10 yards of space. Sideline. Cutting back, needs 2 more blocks. Got one. Got the other one. Touchdown, Green Bay. yards.
He was too pooped to leap. He couldn't make the leap. He just stood there and looked. He said, I can't get up and over.
Will Blackman, who had a punt return 57-yarder against Oakland last year, with his second career touchdown return. Extra point by Mason Crosby. Came close to the all-time Division I college football return mark during his days at Boston College. Will Blackman takes it the distance. Rogers Club up 11. A record Lambeau crowd of 71,004 for a regular season game. On their feet through the timeout as the Packers get a special teams touchdown to take a 17-6 lead. Will Blackman, fourth-round pick 2 years ago out of Boston College, brings it back. Now he's got to go cover a kick. I just gave you 75 good yards. Andre Allison. Brought down past the 20 to the 23. Jaws, how did it happen?
Yeah, Will Blackman does a terrific job. You'll see him right there. Now it's a line drive kick, and that's what really started. Once you get going north and south as a return man, it's tough for defenders to circle the wagons. And I love the fact that he was able to stay in bounds. Just a great job maintaining his balance. Beautiful right here. You think right now he get out of bounds? Boy, he sticks that foot in the ground, cuts back to the inside. Excellent block right there. Now here's the cutback lane like he has eyes in the back of his head. Then he gets a little help right there on some blocking and takes it to the house. Excellent job by Will Blackman.
Corey Hall, Desmond Bishop, Jared Bush, a bunch of backups on the two deep did the job for that touchdown. So now it's an 11-point deficit. And Thomas DePay was the fullback with Philadelphia, a native of St. Paul, comes back to the state and makes that catch.
You were talking about the rivalry before. I want to talk about that in terms of, I think you mentioned the sauce put on because of Brett Favre and the notion that there was tampering by the Vikings to try to get him, and then the Packers saying to the Jets, if you trade him at all, you lose your firstborn for 53 years or something like that.
Peterson, no game.
This particular game, the Vikings have lost 4 in a row to the Packers. The last time they were here, they were shut out 34-0. They spent the offseason late offseason, looking at the fact that perhaps Ziggy Wilf looked at, Favre is not with the Packers anymore. We assume they're weakened. We have gone out and spent money on a pass rusher in Jared Allen and a wide receiver in Bernard Berrien. If we go there in opening game and beat them, that's enormous for our season. Then we are actual contenders. We put the Packers behind us, and they are gassing right now.
3rd and 3. Jackson, a first down throw to Sidney Rice, out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Second-round pick a year ago out of South Carolina, makes his first catch of the night.
One of the things you do as an owner by spending money is sort of you announce yourself as a major player in the league. And you look at Ziggy Wilk in the last couple of years with all these big contracts, and you say he's a guy who says, I'm here to play right now, like Jerry Jones, like somebody like that. Well, so this game, you know, if you lose this one, right, you're taking 2 steps back.
Yeah, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket either. You know, there's a lot of games we played, although, you know, we know this is an important game for them. We spent, you know, a day with those guys. We know how they feel about tonight's matchup. They felt it's important.
And it becomes harder for the way the Vikings are constituted. If you're down 11 points basically going into the 4th quarter and you don't have a passing game, your whole game is running, it becomes more difficult to win a game like that.
And I think now we're going to find out about their passing game. They are down 11 points, a hostile environment here at Lambeau Field. This is where quarterbacks have to grow up. We'll see what Tavares Jackson has.
Adrian Peterson, just 17 rushing yards on 7 carries in this half. 2nd and 8. Aaron Campman did a terrific job staying with the play and tracking down Jackson. Gain of a couple of 3rd down coming up.
Initially, the protection was very good, but Campman is relentless. He'll just keep working and working and working. There, he's blocked well by Ryan Cook, but keeps working. That's a sack on the coverage, not on the offensive line.
Campman told us the other day, and this is a direct quote, we feel we match up very well with them, and we feel they know it too.
Big 3rd down for the Vikings. They have to convert, keep this drive alive.
Roger Biamillo got a great jump off the edge, knocked the football out, but it's recovered with a penalty marker down.
Yeah, the jump was too quick. You nailed it, Mike.
He's salivating seeing Marcus Johnson over there.
Offside defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You'll see him right here, Kabir, just a little bit ahead of the snap. You know, these defensive ends right now are so quick. All teams are building their pass rush around defensive ends coming off the corner. Defensive ends lining up inside. The speed, the quickness, and they're so quick right now, sometimes you can't tell how fast they're getting off the ball. Kabir comes from behind. Boy, he got that shoulder right in the square of Jackson's back. You can see his head snap back on that one.
It's the 9th penalty on Green Bay tonight. First down play action. Almost a Brady Papinga interception. There was miscommunication there with Jackson and his receivers.
No, there was no miscommunication, Mike. He shouldn't have thrown the football, quite simply. You know, it was a go route in the middle of the field and a dig coming back in. The Packers had it perfectly defensed. He tried to force that football in. You'll see it right here. The play action, watch the linebacker span. There's nowhere to throw the football. Perfectly covered by the Green Bay Packers. Papinga should have made the pick. That's one. You got to see the lane and check it down.
Peterson. It's across midfield into the 49-yard line. We'll have 3rd and about 6 here as we get to the 2-minute mark, 3rd quarter.
You know what I find kind of interesting? You have, you know, one of the great open field runners in the game, Adrian Peterson. Use him on some pass routes. Use him on some screens. Get him the ball in space. You know, right now this is not a very creative offense.
The best thing working for them here in this half. Jackson on the move, and he picks up a first down. at the 40-yard line. 9 yards on that carry. So the quarterbacks have run for about a half dozen first downs today.
No question. And again, being judicious in the pocket was Tavares Jackson. He wasn't going to force the ball in there. He showed his escapability, got outside the pocket. And again, spin this around to the Packers defense. When you rush the quarterback, it's about staying in your lane. No freelancing. And on that pass rush, the Packers freelance. Tavares made him pay a price.
Chester Taylor now in the game. Got away from Nick Collins. Didn't get much more after that. Still a good first down game. We're on second down as we get toward a minute and a half here in the third.
Again, the Vikings being patient with their offense right now. There's no need to panic. It's only an 11-point game. You need to get down there and get a score on the board, make it a one-score game. That's the approach right now.
Second and 6 for the 38.
Is there a chart that says when it is time to panic?
Oh, yeah. And you'll know.
Jackson, incomplete. Trying for Garrett Mills again. The tight end covered by Nick Collins. He's going to crawl his way over to the sideline.
He's hurt on the play.
That's going to bring Aaron Rouse in at safety.
Jackson can really rotate. Actually, a very good throw right there. Mills got to come up with that catch. You've got to help your quarterback.
Mills, the fourth-round pick of the Patriots, waived by New England a couple of seasons here with the Vikings. A run on third down, and the second effort could pick up the first down. Peterson kept moving, so on third down, likely passing down 3rd and 6. Good wrinkle there is going to get them the first down.
Excellent play call right there, and what an effort by Adrian Peterson. He just pushed the pile to pick up the first down. He almost willed that first down. What an impressive young man. Tony's hand still hurts from the handshake yesterday.
He crushes your hand, yeah.
You can see the power, the leg drive, the pad level down. He knows where he has to get. He knows where that first down line is. See, he doesn't see that yellow line that we see on TV. He has to kind of have the instinct to peek out of his eye and see that big old orange stripe on the sideline.
On a run by Peterson, who takes it right to 100 yards to get that first down. Well, the clock's going to restart here, guys. Once we get inside of 46 seconds, Viking fans, do you remember Seatric Faison?
Yes.
He's the last Viking to score an offensive touchdown in Lambeau Field. 12 quarters ago. 46-second mark, third quarter, 2005.
What's that name again?
Seatric Faison. What's the old song? It's been a long time. Taylor comes in to give Peterson a break, and they are getting 4.5 here on these first down runs. Now, that quarter statistically dominated by the Vikings. They had the ball most of the quarter. They had most of the yards.
They got none of the points. No, they got 3 of the points.
Yes, they did.
And I got some more bad news for
7 of the points.
more bad news for the Viking fans.
Yeah.
Minnesota's lost each of their last 37 regular season games in which they trailed going into the fourth quarter.
So you're saying it doesn't look good, huh?
I'm just giving you the stats.
They get a play in here at the end of the third, and it's Jackson running again and trying to get himself down, but take the shot from Charles Woodson a yard shy of the first down. And 3rd and 1 will start the fourth quarter with the Raiders and Broncos to follow on opening Monday night, 08. Well, the big impact play of the third quarter was the punt return that got Aaron Rodgers charged up. We begin the fourth quarter at Lambeau Field. Packers 17, Vikings 6. 8 first downs to none in that quarter for Minnesota. Here's what Jaws was talking about. 37 straight road games. Trailing after 3, Vikings lose. Hasn't happened in the NFL since the Bucs almost 2 decades ago. Third down to start the quarter. Peterson goes up top. And even though Cullen Jenkins did the submarine, We'll see where the spot ends up.
It's going to be fourth down.
It is. Wow. Well, what do you do here? It's going to be fourth and less than a yard. Ooh, scary.
They're going to go for it.
Good job by Colin Jenkins.
No penetration
in there. Yeah.
No situations about penetration.
Would you go for it?
You know, they need something to give them a spark.
Is that a yes?
I would kick the field goal, make it a one-score game.
Okay. Hey, I'm with you. I'm going to throw for it here on 4th and 1. Jackson got it. Touchdown.
I would have went
Sidney Rice. Sidney Rice, who had 4 touchdowns in his rookie season, gets one on 4th and a yard, and the Vikings should go for 2 here, down 5 in the 4th quarter.
Excellent job by the offensive line. That's the key. Jackson's looking to his right, There's no more than 5 yards of him. Then Sidney Rice is able to cross the formation and get open. But a great job by the Vikings offensive line.
Way to second guess yourself as soon as they scored the touchdown, by the way.
I told you.
Very, very good. You've done that twice now. You did it on the field goal and you did it on the touchdown. Very good.
Minnesota made all 3 of its 2-point tries last year. Waiting for Rice. Couldn't get it in the back of the end zone.
He had Rice open, Mike.
So it remains a 5-point game. A guy who played for Lou Holtz and Steve Spurrier in college gets into the end zone for Brad Childress and the Vikings in Green Bay.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. EA Sports Madden NFL 09, in stores now. CareerBuilder.com. Start building. CareerBuilder.com. And Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet?
5-point game. Minnesota goes for 2 and misses. Finally get a touchdown here at Lambeau. Oh, question on the kickoff between the 2 return men. Will Blackman finally got it at the 1. And Blackman gets out of bounds at the 24-yard line, shown the sideline by Garrett Mills. Not many plays for the Packer offense. Only 3 this half. Wow. The Green Bay Packer offense reacquainting themselves with the field. They've only run 3 plays here in this second half.
Rodgers could have shaved in that interim and nobody would have known.
If you're just joining us, Aaron Rodgers, 14 of 18, 150 yards and 1 touchdown. Here's to Corey Hall, the fullback. Play action pass to the tight end, Troy Humphrey. To the 32, gain of about 7. Sports Center right now, here's John Anderson.
Thank you, Mike. Tiger Woods, now Tom Brady. How many more season-ending knee injuries can the American sporting public take? Brady headed for surgery. His 08 officially done. Pat still won't say exactly what the injury is. And Roger Federer drops Andy Murray in straight sets for his 5th consecutive U.S. Open championship. First slam this year, 13th of his career, 1 off Pete Sampras' record. Full Sports Center, 11 Eastern, ESPN 2.
Thank you, John. I saw the emotion there from Federer. A lot of that the other night as well. More than we've seen from him over the last few years. Grant, the running back. Ryan off the left side, bouncing off Chad Greenway. And the first down of the half for Green Bay.
Tennis players, when they win, I know it's a football game, but when tennis players win, why do they always lay down in the middle of the court on their backs? They do this every single time they win. Federer has made a career out of laying down on his back in the middle of grass courts and hard courts, not clay courts. Nadal lays down on the clay court. But that's what they do. Weird.
Over at the 36-yard line with Grant as the back. He comes to the right. Snuffed out. Shut out by Chad Greenway. Was the 17th overall pick in the draft out of Iowa a couple of years ago. Injured his knee, covering a kick First quarter, first preseason game, rookie year. Back last year, playing well this year.
Yeah, Chad Greenway does a really nice job, and you'll see him fire through right there. And he does a terrific job of reading and anticipating, sees the gap. Mark Tauscher cannot reach back and knock him out of the way, but an excellent instinctive play by Chad Greenway.
See who led the league in fumble recoveries last year, leads the team in tackles tonight with 7. After the loss of 4, a gain of 2 with Donald Driver, Cedric Griffin there, and we got 3rd and long coming up. That's a pass rush situation for Jared Allen.
Yeah, and Allen has been somewhat invisible, 0 tackles, 0 sacks. Chad Clifton's done a real nice job on him. Just holding him right at the point of attack, not allowing any penetration, doing a real good job of staying between Allen and the quarterback. Aaron, boy, just a really good job right there. Chad Clifton did a good job against him last year when Allen was with the Chiefs, and so far so good tonight.
No tackles, no sacks, 1 pass deflection. Third and 12, quick toss Driver, not going to get there as E.J. Henderson cleaned up the good work of Antoine Winfield, and it's 4th down, and the Vikings have the momentum, and they're going to get the ball back.
Just staying with Jared Allen for a second, $31 million in guarantees is a tremendous amount of money, and he is a great, great player. But there was a character issue, because when he was with Kansas City, he had a number of DUIs, was suspended for a couple of games. He told us yesterday, he said, I expected Ziggy Wilf to ask me about it. I would ask me about it for that kind of money, and I said, I'd put it behind me. Can you put it behind you? Signed a big deal. Apparently they could.
43-yard kick. The dancing Andre Allison is brought to his knees by Michael Montgomery, who's had a good game tonight. Flag down. Umpire came in and tossed it and moved it into the pack, so penalty 16 of the night coming up here.
There is no foul for an illegal block in the back. There's no contact in the back.
And we will move to break. Vikings get the ball back for their offense. Down 5.
Scott with the Sports Center right now. Our Monday Night Football doubleheader continues after Packers and Vikings. Jay Cutler and the Broncos in an old-school AFC rivalry against Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders. Plus the debut of Darren McFadden. It's all going down next on ESPN. Mike Tirico, sending it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Stu, Jaws, you've watched some preseason tape of Russell. What'd you see?
I like him. I mean, you could see all the throws. I love them coming out of LSU. Again, he's got to get on the field, take those practice traits and all that learning of the offseason and perform now.
Mike Greenberg, Mike Golick, Mike Ditkus, Lucy Culver, and Oakland will join us after a first down run. Peterson to the sideline, gain of 7 and a flag in.
So they haven't asked Susan to change her name to Mike just for the evening.
They have not.
That's too bad. It's a missed opportunity.
This one coming back, it appears.
Holding. Offense, number 19.
The receiver, Bobby Wade, downfield.
Goal. First down.
Week 1, it's week 1. You've got plenty of times your season goes on. Very often what happens in week 1 doesn't set momentum one way or the other, but you get the sense because of the division, because of the angst between the teams, because of the good things. This is a little more important of the week 1 matchups this week in the league.
Saying that what happens in week 1 stays in week 1, but not in this particular game, Mike.
I was trying not to say that. I was going there, but Jackson to Vasante Shenko, the tight end, used to be a Giant. Signed a big free agent deal 2 years ago, down to the 16-yard line. Second down coming up.
I like the fact that Brad Childress is opening this offense up, spreading it out with 3 wide receivers. You know, he's asking Jackson to make some plays. So far, in that third quarter, Tavares has responded in a big way. This is now a 1-score game. It's a big drive for the Vikings right here. They can take the lead with a touchdown.
Good pickup of Bonza Villanilla. Peterson as a receiver, a yard and a half shy of the first down. A.J. Hawk has been very active tonight, made the tackle. And after the play, continuation of activity with Al Harris and Bobby Wade. No flag, third down. Peterson caught 19 balls last year, and this is something he's really put some emphasis on in the offseason.
And I like the fact that Jackson used him right here. The defense expands in that zone. There's nothing wrong with taking this little check down. You get Adrian Peterson the ball in space, he can make people miss.
And a good open field tackle by A.J. Hawk on Peterson. Hawk had a bruised chest muscle, hadn't practiced for a couple of weeks. 9 tackles. Leading tackler tonight. Timeout taken. Viking timeout. They have 1 remaining. It's an extended house party with Hank tonight.
I wouldn't let any of those people into my house, though.
Yes, you
no.
But during that second called Vikings timeout, a light, very light rain began to fall as the temperature cools down near 50. Four receivers and shotgun on 3rd and 1.
Interesting formation for this down and distance situation.
Jackson throws for it, incomplete. And Wade wanted a flag as Charles Woodson was covering him. Wade has been involved the last couple of plays with Al Harris, and Jackson furious at the non-call.
George, you didn't like that play, did you?
No, I didn't. I think when you got 3rd and about a yard, you know, pretty much telling them what you're going to do. You're going to throw the football. Took away the run option, and I can see why Bobby Wade is upset.
Will Blackman, star of the second half, 76-yard punt return earlier, awaits Chris Kluwe's punt. Much better kick.
Much better bounce.
Yeah. This was up in the air as opposed to the last one. Which would be the laser Josh likes to talk about. Not good for a punt.
You don't like it on a punt, though, Mike.
No. Lollipop, yes. Laser, no. 50-yard punt. Vikings unhappy they didn't get a pass interference flag and an automatic first down. Big game of the early college football season. Primetime Saturday Night Football on ABC. Number 1 USC and number 5 Ohio State. The Buckeye and Trojan alums have been barking about that all summer long, including our buddy Carson Palmer had something to say about living in Ohio and being a Trojan. We'll see that Saturday night. Brett Musburger, Kirk Herbstreit have it for you, 8 Eastern over on ABC. Minnesota has 1 timeout left. Keep that in the back of your mind with 8.5 to go in the 4th. Penalty 17 of the night.
Encroachment. 94 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
On Pat Williams.
Subtle, Mike, but excellent use of the cadence. You get in a situation like this, go with the hard count. You're going to cool that defensive rush down with that kind of hard count. He gets 3-5 yards. I'm sure Tony learned that from Brett Favre as well.
We're approaching the over-under limit I set for the half.
That was on me, not Tony.
Is it caught by Ruvel Martin? Yes, at the 40-yard line.
Well, let's talk about Rodgers right here in this regard. This is the circumstance you want to be in. You have a chance to take your team down the field in 4 or 5 minutes and basically close out Minnesota. I mean, this is what people are looking for. This is a kid who's a very confident guy, doesn't think he's a young quarterback. Said it on a 1 to 10 scale going into this game, his nervousness level was no higher than 3, and he said, this whole thing is on me. I know how I'm going to be judged. I am not afraid of it. I can handle this. This is where you see it.
back, Ryan Grant to the 2. 57 yards.
So I was very close. I said if he took him on a drive that lasted 4 or 5 minutes, and it lasted 4 or 5 seconds.
But what Aaron Rodgers has done is manage the game well. The only thing you look for a guy in his first start, don't make dumb, bonehead mistakes, throw picks. He has managed the game very well. He's utilized the weapons.
The smart thing was to hand it to Grant.
At that time it was.
First and goal. Brandon Jackson comes in and gets snowed under by Kevin Williams. Another marker down.
I believe too many men on the field.
Just counting, Dub. You got it. An important spot here for Minnesota. If you can hold them to a field goal, it's still a one-score game.
Correct.
With one timeout left.
Defense, 12 men on the field. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
The Ryan Grant run of 57 yards gets him to 92, and it's the third longest run of his career.
Boy, excellent move by Ryan Grant right there. That's what you love to see in a running back, not taking the easy way out to the sideline, the 10-yard line. He picks up an additional 7 yards right there and gets his team in excellent position to score.
Again, traded from the Giants. He made $370,000 last year. Parlayed a near 1,000-yard season to 4 years, $18 million. Big contract. Rodgers keeping. And remember the problems Green Bay had trying to get it in earlier at the other end in the first half, and they eventually had to go to the fourth option on a pass at the goal line to score.
The run I like here is to the right side, Mike. You got Mark Tauscher at 320 pounds against Ray Edwards about 265 pounds. That's a humongous weight advantage. I would try to take advantage of that. And you're also running at Pat Williams. Williams is certainly a great run stopper, but he's at his best moving laterally. I think you can get some movement out of him by double teaming him at the point.
There's the formation, Josh. They go a bunch with 3 receivers to the right. Jackson is the running back. And Rodgers sneaking in for the touchdown. He's got those bodies out of there. Got a Lambeau leap in you, Aaron? Go take it.
Who's the happiest guy in the stadium? You think it's Ted Thompson? Think he's got a shot at it?
I think it's that guy.
You think it's Aaron
I think it's that guy right there.
Yeah. I'm not going to get carried away, but somebody would start to write a column that began with how the torch was passed just on that particular play. But it won't be me.
I think you just did it.
Mason Crosby, the extra point, 24-12. Good design there, Ron, to get people out of there and give them a little space to get in.
Excellent job. And we saw this being worked on at practice on Saturday. I probably should have figured that out. They may run the quarterback sneak inside the 1-yard line.
But that's a signature situation. Not only, and he's had a very good night, Aaron Rodgers. And to be able to score what appears to be the winning touchdown now by himself and to bathe in it and make the leap. That's something you won't soon forget, though it appeared he might never come out of the stand.
Well, I think the receivers and the DBs and the running backs, when they get their hands on that video, they will grade him down, because if you Lambeau leap, you got to get your bottom up to the top of the pads there. You couldn't get in there.
As we like to say, get the tuchus a little bit higher up.
All right, we'll start to get ready to watch these go on all year.
Oh, Tony loves this.
I have not said the word the second half. I have not.
May I just say this, please? The guy on the left did it against a team that won, one game last year, Miami?
Exactly one.
The guy on the right is doing it against a defense that was as good as any defense. It's a great storyline. It's a great point. But let's not do this week after week. My goodness.
Well, not next week anyway. I know you don't want to do it week after week, but in Green Bay, it's play after play. They have the charts set up. They watch the Jets on Sunday. They watch the Packers on Monday. They compare everything they do.
And there's the big play that really got the Packers started. And I love this one. He goes to the 4th option, off balance, Favre-like, Tony. And here's the touchdown to put the Packers up by 2 scores in the Lambeau leap. I thought it was pretty athletic, by the way.
Rodgers is a smart guy. He's got to know that calling his own number, getting in by himself is a big deal.
He didn't call his own number.
Well,
Mike
somebody
McCarthy
did.
6 minutes left, down 12, one timeout. Probably a lot of no huddle here. They blitz Jackson to start, and the pass is incomplete. The pressure came from one of the defensive stars tonight for Green Bay, A.J. Hawk.
And Jackson took a really shot as A.J. Hawk comes in clean. And tell you what, this is when you earn your money as a quarterback. Here comes a blitz right off the middle. Big B and Hawk coming right at Tavares Jackson, unblocked. And wow, that'll give you a sternum problem right there. So you want to play quarterback, huh, folks? Defenseless, taking shots like that.
Second down, the tight end, Basante Shanko. Gain of 5, 3rd and 5. Vikings will stay out of the huddle here. Free agent acquisition, Bernard Berry, 2 catches tonight. Jackson's 11 of 26 passing. Flag does come down. Sidney Rice was going for it. And he was bumped on the way down the sideline.
Jackson taking a shot. I like that.
Pass interference. Defense, number 38.
Tramon Williams.
Automatic first down.
Tavares Jackson once again looking down the gun barrel. Aaron Campman comes in. He's taking a beating right now, but he's hanging in there. And like I said, I love the throw down the field. You get the one-on-one matchup on the outside. You're down 2 scores. You got to try to make a play at this point.
10th penalty, and it came on 3rd and 5 too, so helps the Vikings out with the yardage as well to the 45. Campman and Baza Biamila meet at the quarterback. The quarterback's taken off. 18 yards on the scramble to the 37.
Once again, an excellent job by Jackson, understanding the Packers were in a man coverage scheme. Once he broke the pocket, all defenders have their back turned in their coverage responsibility. A lot of green grass, and he takes it. You'll see right here, it's a man coverage scheme behind this rush. Once he breaks the pocket, he knew it. He tucked the ball away rather quickly. He wasn't looking to make a play down the field with his arms. He knew he had a chance with his legs.
Five receiving options. They hit the ground, incomplete. Bobby Wade shadowed by Charles Woodson all the way across. 4-time Pro Bowler, 3rd year now in Green Bay. And as we get up near 10 o'clock on the East Coast, not too far away from Game 2 of our season-opening Monday Night Football doubleheader. It'll come your way from Oakland. Mike Golick, Mike Greenberg, Mike Ditka standing by for the Raiders and the Broncos. Here the Packers lead 24-12. Jumped out to a 10-3 lead at the half. Got a punt return from Will Blackman. And just a few moments ago, a 1-yard touchdown run from Aaron Rodgers. Lead by 12, and Minnesota has only 1 timeout left. Good pursuit by Mike Montgomery. A.J. Hawk and Jason Hunter. Peterson down as we get to 3rd down. Guys, Brad Childress may go 0 for 5 here in this border rivalry.
Yeah.
Wait, there's 4 minutes left. I know it's running. Need to make a play.
Okay.
Here's the blitz.
Jackson's pass was scooped up by Shanko. It's called a reception. And going to get 4th down and about a yard here.
Well, the Vikings got to show a little more sense of urgency right now. They're kind of, taking their time, getting in and out of the huddle, getting a play called. They're 2 scores down. The tempo must be picked up.
And it's 4th down here. Peterson's the back. Jackson sneaking for it. Will get it. And it'll go down inside 3.5 now.
Again, they're huddling up. They're taking their time. They look a bit disorganized right now. You now have this communication from the play caller to the quarterback. It's pretty easy to get them organized.
Rising's it incomplete. Be remiss, guys, just a second, and everyone on all the broadcasts, all of our brethren at the networks have mentioned it, and we should as well. The GU 63 patch and all the players in memory of Gene Upshaw, the Hall of Fame guard, and the executive director of the NFL Players Union, and also on midfield. Those patches will stay all year. The decal on the jerseys and that logo the opening week, this kickoff weekend, every place in the NFL. It's a great sign of respect. Cullen Jenkins injured for Green Bay.
I don't want to sound crass about that, but I think it's probably a point well taken that Gene Upshaw, in his tenure as head of the Players Association, made a lot of money for a lot of people playing out there tonight. A lot of money.
No question. About 10 times they made when Gene took over as the executive director of the Players Association. And I like the fact that, Gene got started taking care of a lot of the former players. Now it's up to the next executive director to build upon that. There's still a lot of former players that are not happy with the treatment they've gotten. I think it's something they can build upon. Roger Goodell's been working in that vein, and I think that with the changes being made now at the Players Association, will help those guys that the game was built upon, that the backs of those old-time players get their due.
Well said. Jenkins, you saw cramping there. Remember, almost none of these players have played a full game this year. So this 2-minute drill late in the game. Jackson hasn't played in a couple of weeks, but everybody playing so little in preseason. A lot of guys are running on fumes right now. Jackson to Mills. Garrett Mills, the tight end out of Tulsa, who had 201 receptions in college, a record at Tulsa. Got 17 first down yards there. Out of bounds, too. Stop the clock.
Jackson, once again, a nice job of hanging in the pocket. Bodies around him, waiting for Mills to make his break to the outside, and delivers the ball right between the 4 and the 5. When Jackson gets time and his mechanics are solid, he throws a beautiful ball.
Obviously, little time. It's precious. But with one timeout, you really have to score as quick as possible here to keep yourself alive. Nothing open left. Oh, great moves. Flag down in the secondary as Jackson's tackled at the 6. This is going to be the 20th penalty of the game.
What's the record? Get Steve Hurt on that.
Well, the record for a first game that we're watching would be 20.
Holding. Defense. Number 50. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Now, Mike, we talked about in the preseason an awful lot, with starters not playing, some not even suiting up. At the first couple weeks of the season, we expected to see sloppy football. And for the most part, that's what's happened.
Steve Hurt tells us 37 in the game. Browns Bears 1951.
I knew when I mentioned his name, he'd be all over.
Just ask and you'll receive.
Steve, the Elias Sports Bureau, handles so much of our info during the season. First and goal from the 3.
37.
Inside handoff to Peterson. There's his rushing touchdown. Oh, look at the official getting involved there as Nick Barnett was going right through. The official trying to be a peacemaker there. We again remind you, border rivalry, the players know all too well the lack of love either side. 24-18, and you kick the extra point in this situation.
It gets a little dicey now, though, Mike. Do you go with the onside kick?
Yes.
As you mentioned, the Vikings only have one timeout. They've squandered a couple timeouts. If you have all 3 and kick it deep and play defense, right now, Brad Childress has a tough decision to make.
No flags coming from this extra stuff. Longwell, 24-19. In a flag down at the back end of this play, and that's interesting. This could be tacked onto a kickoff. It could affect field position.
No question,
here. Yep. I know you're not happy with what's going on the field, but this could be a bonehead play if it's not offsetting penalties.
Personal foul. Leverage. Defensive player put his hand on a lineman and accelerated up into the air. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on on the cleaning kickoff.
Now I think you're onside kick.
Now you're onside kick, yeah.
Leverage to get you on a defensive guy. You use him to be almost a human trampoline, catapult you a little bit higher to try to block the kick.
It's an odd word when the guy says penalty leverage. It's odd, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's 24-19. Make it or miss it. It's not going to change what happens here in the last few moments of the game. So it's never a good time to get a flag like that, but now he kicks from the 45-yard line. Remember, Longwell had a surprise onside kick last year that worked. He had 2 successful onside kicks, one against Philly and one on a Sunday night, we recall, against Washington. So
this wouldn't be much of a surprise, of course.
No. But he had 2 that worked last year.
No, they have their hand. The Packers have their hands team on the field, and kickers become so good at that pop-off kick. They drive it into the ground, and it goes about 15 feet in the air, and all of a sudden your coverage guys can go make a play because you can't fair catch it if it hits the ground first. There it is.
And the hit, it's alive. It goes out of bounds. And the question is, was it touched? The answer is yes. So it belongs to Green Bay with 1 timeout left at the 39-yard line.
It was an excellent pop-up kick. The Vikings actually had a chance. You'll see it right here. Big B goes up to get it. Now he's hit. Oh, it goes right through his hands. That now is a live football. A bad break for the Vikings. It went out of bounds, or they would have had a great chance to recover that.
So they have a timeout and the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's Mike Stock, the special teams coach, talking to Atari Bigby, saying, hey, you're put there for your hands. Catch the ball.
He was about to get hit.
Yeah, he's going to get hit. If you catch it now, you're going to get hit.
John Kuhn, the fullback, leads the way. It's Brandon Jackson running. Stopped. No gain. Minnesota immediately uses the timeout. Their last. Remember, they used one on a challenge that was unsuccessful earlier. And the next play should take us down to the 2-minute warning. Broncos and the Raiders next. Guys, I'll be interested to see how Jay Cutler does this year. The diagnosis during the offseason, diabetes, the treatment now for it, feeling the energy level, personality, leadership has been upgraded. We talked to Jay during this offseason. I'll be interested to see. Denver's been a disappointment the last couple of years. Will they be in the wild card mix this year in the AFC?
And they'll be without Brandon Marshall tonight, really his go-to receiver, who's on a 1-game suspension. So a lot more pressure on the wide receiving corps in Denver to perform for Jay Cutler. But the problem in Denver's been their run defense, and that's been the key for them. They've got to stop the run, or they won't have a chance to be a playoff contender.
Kick time in Oakland about a dozen minutes away. Second down, Brandon Jackson going to stay inbounds, flag down.
Holding, number 65 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
The Vikings will get the ball back here. They're going to get the ball back with probably about 1:10 to go. The 2-minute warning will stop the clock.
Well,
and they'll probably decline that penalty. Yeah,
absolutely.
Penalty,
You got to decline this penalty here.
Right.
Penalty's declined. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You got to decline it.
Now the play clock's going to run from 25 instead of 40.
Right.
Because you have a dead ball stopping it with the penalty. And we have third down. The question, the Vikings are saying, we stopped him back there. Not here. It's 3rd and 11 coming up. And the penalty, by doing that, also gives them the free stoppage on the clock with the flag.
Correct.
So a double disaster on that 12th penalty of the night. Rodgers' hands going nowhere is Jackson. And the clock will run to the 2-minute warning here. And Minnesota will get the ball back without timeouts. Jared Allen, who was quiet throughout, able to make the play there.
So now they're not going to get it back with a minute 10. They're going to get it back with 2 minutes. And that,
well, because the penalty,
right?
Yeah, a lot of them really a free timeout.
It probably saved 45 seconds.
Sure,
I think,
it's a lot.
You know,
Yeah.
especially without a timeout. Minnesota very much alive. Tavares Jackson will have the game in his hands. We'll see where they get the ball after the punt.
What's up? Stuart Scott with you at the Sports Center right now, immediately following the Packers and Vikings. Game 2 of our Monday Night Football doubleheader. Jay Cutler and the Broncos against Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders. One of the most bitter rivalries in the NFL is renewed right here, next on ESPN. Now let's take it back up to the guys in the booth. Michael, what's going down?
All right, Stuart, Derek Frost to punt. Vikings come at him with 9. Frost gets it away. Andre Allison has some room from the 22. Made the first man miss, and not a lot of blocking because they went for the punt block. So Allison's got it at the 31 with no timeouts in the buck 51. Aaron Rodgers' night likely done for perspective. Rob Johnson in Jacksonville had the highest completion percentage in his NFL starting debut in '97. Rodgers would slide in there ahead of Sam Weish and Stan Humphries.
I would say it's a pretty good start.
Completed his last 10 passes tonight. Now, will he get a win? That's up to the Green Bay defense. Vikings have lost their last 4 to the Packers. Adrian Peterson's in the game. He's at the top of the screen as a receiver. Jackson, complete, staying in bounds. Clock moves, catch by Berrien. Tackle Tremont Williams.
I like the fact that the Packers are still staying with their man coverage schemes. They're not going to give Tavares Jackson an easy completion.
Does anybody call 2 plays in the huddle anymore? A lot of time. Peterson. Is that a horse collar? No flag. Chester Taylor, I beg your pardon. Chester Taylor brought down by Nick Barnett. The 45, buck 10 left. And the clock is killed after the first down was achieved. Taylor out, Peterson in.
You're a little bit limited now on what you can do play calling wise. You'd like to work to the sidelines. You'd like to work the deep crossing pattern so they can run after they catch and get out of bounds. So with no timeouts, you can't work the entire football field.
Your 3 receivers are Bobby Wade, Sidney Rice, the free agency acquisition Bernard Berrien. Peterson's next to his quarterback. Schenko, the tight ends, the slot at the top. Intercepted, throws to Atari Bigby. Who should just go down. This return doesn't matter. Nothing good can happen here, Bigby. Game over. Packers win.
How do you really feel, Mike? You're right. Get down.
hectoring from the booth and lecturing. Nothing good can happen here, Bigby.
Well, he's right.
I love that.
The game's first turnover is the last significant play of the night.
Yeah, it looks like Schenko pulled up on the route a little bit. I can't figure that one out. He's got Hawk on his back shoulder, man-to-man. Ball does get away from Jackson on the play. He got a little hurt there, too.
He's wearing a brace. He's been hurt before.
And the reaction to Aaron Rodgers, he gets to put on the helmet for the favorite quarterback play.
There's a happy guy.
Sure will. Sure is.
I mean, he was the guy who said the train is pulled out of the station. He's happy tonight. Ted Thompson's happy tonight. Aaron Rodgers happy tonight. And about 80,000 people here are very happy tonight.
And it'll be a year or two before we really know if it was the right decision or not. Everyone wants instantaneous evaluation.
But you know what?
Give it some time.
We get the Packers twice more on Monday night, so you haven't heard the last of me,
It's all about our schedule, is that what you're saying?
We're going to see Minnesota and New Orleans at the end of a brutal run. They play Indianapolis at home, Carolina at home, at Tennessee, and then at New Orleans. But Aaron Rodgers,
big night,
goes across Lake Michigan to play Detroit next week, a winner in his first National Football League start. 24-19. Green Bay gets it. A Bay Area kid get to win one in Green Bay. And before we go out to the Bay for the Oakland-Denver game, Michelle Tafoya working in there for a word with the Packers quarterback. Go ahead, Michelle.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Aaron hugging some opponents, and you know what, Aaron, it was just one game, but let's be honest, this was a big one. What does it feel like to have this win under your belt?
It feels great. You know, a lot of people, I think, were down this week and kind of forgot about the Green Bay Packers and the season we had last year. And I think some of the guys in the locker room took that personal. And, you know, we played pretty well tonight. You know, had a big special teams play and got the job done. It feels great.
What was it like for you to score that first rushing touchdown of your career and then make your first Lambeau leap? What was going through your mind?
I've been dreaming about that for 4 years, so it felt great. Big play for us in the game. Ryan had a great run, put us down there, and Coach trusted me enough to give me the ball, and we got the job done. The defense held on.
Aaron, congratulations.
Thank you.
Michelle, thank you. The Packers 1-0, tied with the Chicago Bears atop the NFC North. The Vikings and Lions 0-1 in the division. With Tony Kornheiser, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya, the great women and men of our Monday Night Football crew, Mike Tirico saying good night. Hey, don't forget, next Monday night we have Dallas and Philadelphia.
Oh, bring it on, baby.
There's more Monday Night Football, though, coming up next. Mike Greenberg, Mike Golick, Mike Ditka, Susie Culver in Oakland. The Broncos and Raiders. Good night from Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback with a winning record in town. Mike Greenberg, your turn.